We, African heads of state, must stop behaving like puppets that dance every time the imperialists pull the strings.
Ibrahim Traore once said, colonialism didn't live, but it changed shape. He told us, they will not always send soldiers, they will not always send ambassadors, they will not always send generals. Instead, he said, they will use Africans to rule Africans on behalf of foreign interest. Today, Africa is witnessing exactly what he warned us about.
You can't gather, you can't march, you can't demonstrate, but something even more horrifying was already happening. People were disappearing. The Tanganyika Law Society, Tanzania's bar association, documented 83 cases. 83 people who vanished under mysterious circumstances. People like Dionys Kipanya, Chadema party official. July 26th, he gets a phone call. Leave home, never seen again. Deals Dedit Soka and Jacob Godwin Mimle, both young Chadema activists. August 18th, witnesses say men claiming to be police took them. Still missing. Frank Mbise, motorcycle taxi driver. Same day as Soka and Imle. Wrong place, wrong time. Also gone. Then, September 6th, 2024, Ali Mohamed Kibao, senior Chadema member, is traveling by bus from Dar es Salaam to Tanga. He was abducted in broad daylight. Witnesses saw men take him. 2 days later, his body was found dumped near the shore. The autopsy reveals severe beating, torture, and acid poured on his face. After Kibao's death, everything changed. People stopped talking openly. Activists went quiet on social media. Everyone understood. If they can do this to a senior opposition official in broad daylight.
When we see African youths being threatened for filming truth, when governments fear camera more than corruption, when leadership protests or protects power instead of the people, we are watching the warning unfolding in real time. What I'm going to talk is not about attacking nations. It's about awakening them. It's about reminding Africa who we are and what Traore saw coming. Now, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, Neo Africa. This is your channel that speaks the truth only.
Today, many African heads of state are hiding behind a so-called democracy, made in Africa, trying to copy their imperialist master. But today, democracy has reached its limits. It has developed. It has reached its peak. Today, it is in decline. This must be recognized. We must be able to build our model, and our model is African. And as they say, if the meaning of the word democracy is as they say, it is that it was born in Africa. So here we have our way of seeing things. We must become African again and accept to live African. As Comrade President Thomas Sankara said, it is the only way to live free and to live dignified. Because this African union that we call today the facade, we do not feel it. There is no union. The continent is torn apart by wars. All this by the manipulation of imperialists. They only want to see us torn apart, to kill us while we steal our wealth. But the message must pass. We must raise awareness. We must never stop talking. Some will say that many of you may talk a lot. I have been accused of this for a long time, but we must always talk. We must become African again and accept to live African. As Comrade President Thomas Sankara said, it is the only way to live free and to live dignified. Who today, more than you, to pass this message to the whole world? Who today, more than you, to awaken consciousness? As I said, everything begins there. If youth does not know its history, if youth does not understand today's world, does not understand anything of geopolitics, you may have turned the skies and the earth, but they will never be able to understand the way of the revolution. It is up to us from now on, wherever we are, that we can pass the message of our history, of where we come from, what we are doing today, why the world is made in such a way, so that people can understand, to board the train of the revolution, so that we can move towards a harmonious development, towards a real African Union. Because this African Union that we call today the facade, we do not feel it. There is no union. The continent is torn apart by wars. All this by the manipulation of imperialists. They only want to see us torn apart, to kill us while we steal our wealth. But the message must pass. We must raise awareness. We must never stop talking. Some will say that many of you may talk a lot. I have been accused of this for a long time, but we must always talk. I met the Venezuelan president once. He told me, the father of the revolution, every day he spoke on the radio, and he himself, who was his son, wondered why he spoke every day. And Chavez said, we must always talk so that people understand the message, and that the message of imperialism cannot pass. Today, more than ever, he understood, and he came just to encourage me to keep talking. While on the continent, our brothers, who may not have understood anything yet, tell us that we talk too much.
Now, Traore said, Africa will not fall because of foreign armies. It will fall because of African leaders serving foreign agendas. And when you look around Africa today, what are you seeing? Who looks up journalists? Who punishes citizens for speaking? Who threatens youths for filming injustice? Who protects foreign cooperation but arrests local voices? It is not France. It is not the US. It is not Europe. Africa is suits. Africans in suits, Africans in uniform, Africans in parliament are the one doing those works. And that is new colonizer. That is the new colonizer, and that is the new warning. Traore said, we are not occupied by the mind they trained to serve them. And that is why some leaders from the youths, or some leaders fear the youths, because the youths cannot be controlled by colonial training. Now, I will one quote Traore say that a government afraid of camera is a government afraid of accountability. And when a government sends message saying that do not share videos, do not record events, do not show the world what is happening, this is not leadership. This is fear disguising as authority. And I saw what's happening in Tanzania. It's only the national television that was airing, or that was showing us the images of what's going on. Other Tanzanian medias were shut down. And that's not leadership. That is fear disguised as authority. True leaders don't fear evidence. True leaders welcome transparency. True leaders stand proudly before their citizens and the world. But fearful leaders, what they do, they hide. They silence. Puppet leaders obey foreign demands for secrecy. And Traore told us that. He told us if your actions cannot be seen, your leadership cannot be trusted. Okay? Now, when you talk about colonization, neo-colonialism, what's happening right now in Tanzania and many African countries is neo-colonialism. And colonization happens in the mind first, as Traore said. The colonizer no longer needs to sit in Africa. He no longer needs military boats. Colonizer no longer needs direct rule. He needs unity, or not unity. He needs only African media that fears truth. He needs African leaders that fear criticism. He needs African police that obey foreign aligned orders. He needs African law designed to silence citizens. He only needs African fear to colonize. And fear is the new colonial instrument. So when you fear speaking, you are colonized. When you fear farming, you are colonized. Or filming, you are colonized. When you fear filming, you are colonized. When you fear questioning power, you are colonized. And these were the warning from Ibrahim Traore. He said they will try to rule you through fear, not by force. Okay? And one of the strongest message from Ibrahim Traore, the youth leader, was that the youths are threat to neocolonialism. So they will attack the youth first. Why? Because the youths are woke, the youths are informed, the youths have smartphones, the youths do not worship old system, and the youths do not negotiate their dignity. So when citizens receive threats for simply just recording their own country, when young voices are intimidated, when the state panics at the sight of rising unity, understand that this is not about law, but this is about control. And Traore said, if they silence the youth, Africa dies. And if the youth refuses silence, Africa rises. We are rising. We don't want to be silenced. Okay? Because silencing citizens is the beginning of dictatorship, and that's what we are seeing in Tanzania. You don't need a military coup to lose freedom. You lose freedom when citizens cannot speak. You lose freedom when the youths cannot express truth, when cameras become threat, when the state decides what reality is allowed to exist. A nation dies quietly when people are scared to talk. But Africa is not quiet anymore. Tanzania is not quiet anymore. The continent is not asleep. We are awake and we are watching and we are speaking as the people. Traore said, leaders who fear their people should resign. And he reminded Africa that leadership is not about titles. Leadership is not about security forces. Leadership is not about silencing citizens. Leadership is courage. Accountability. Leadership is protecting your people, not your seat. Okay? And a leader who fears the people was never leading them. A leader who fears the people, he or she was just managing them for someone else. And Traore warned about the foreign praise in red flags. He said it's a red flag. He told Africans, when foreign powers love your leader, be suspicious. And foreign powers love leaders who make Africa quiet, who keep Africa powerless, who control information, who obey foreign interest, who silence resistance, but they hate leaders who empower youths. They hate leaders who expose corruption, reject foreign control, inspire African unity, and speak truth to the empire. And that's why they hate Ibrahim Traore. That's why Traore is attacked. He's not attacked for doing wrong, but he's attacked for refusing obedience. So when the state first reaction to public truth is suppression, that is modern colonialism. When the priority of a state is silencing the witness instead of fixing the wrongdoers, it's a modern colonialism. Information is power, as we all know. And a people who cannot speak cannot resist. And Traore warned, if they control your voice, they control your destiny. But Africa must control its narrative or be controlled by it. Okay? Silent Africa is a conquered Africa. They want Africa to be peaceful but speechless. Silence is not peace. Silence is oppression dressed in calm clothing. And we don't want war. We don't want chaos as Africa. We just want freedom. We just want the truth. So, as I will say this, Tanzania is trying to suppress the freedom of its people. And this is just confirming what Traore has been warning all along. Traore has been warning about the suppression, neo-colonialism, Western influence, puppetry leaders. And I think Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan is playing one of the cards of the foreign powers. He's not playing by the people of Africa. He's playing by the people who are not Africans. We don't know who she's serving. But all in all the warnings that were brought out by Traore is now here. So we need to wake up as African youths, and we need to see by our own eyes what is happening in Tanzania can happen in any of the countries. Today is in Tanzania, tomorrow is in Uganda, the other year is in Kenya, the other one is in Rwanda, and etc. etc. So we need to speak up. We need to speak up. Use your little time you have to watch this video and share this video, and make sure you subscribe to the New Africa.